Alright, good morning. So I've had a really lazy morning actually. I was camping down by that lake which I showed you in the previous clip, and yeah, it was just such a nice place to camp that I figured I'd just hang out there this morning. So didn't actually leave until 9 a.m. even though I woke up like 6:30 or something. I was just kind of hanging out, relaxing, getting some rest sort of. So yeah, and also set up camp kind of early, like set up at like 7 p.m. yesterday. So normally I would hike until at least 8, but I knew that I'm about to go up onto this ridge, so I figured that was a nice spot to camp. So just take some rest and relax a bit. So yeah, now I'm back on the trail, feeling like really well rested actually, feeling not rushed at all and just kind of chilling. So yeah, looking forward to getting up on the ridge and seeing some good views. So I'm just taking a break. I'm going to eat some garlic mashed potatoes and some tuna. I think the tuna is also like garlic and herbs or something, so maybe a lot of garlic, I don't know. But yeah, mashed potatoes and tuna, nice little meal. I just stopped here by this spring. I'll show you. So just down there is a spring, and I'm pretty sure you can tell it's a spring because, well, basically it starts literally right here. There's no water above it, and there's no snow melt above it, so the water is basically just coming out of the ground. You can, like, this is like the source of the spring basically. So I don't really know how springs work, but it's good water. And for some reason I've been feeling really tired today. I was feeling tired yesterday as well, even though I got lots of sleep. um, I feel like it's probably just the altitude. I think I'm still just adjusting to the altitude, and yeah, I think I'm just feeling a little bit exhausted, a little bit out of it, especially with all the elevation gain going uphill at this high altitude. So I think I'm still in that adjustment period. I don't know how long it takes to adjust, but it's strange because a few days ago, like probably the day before I went into Pagosa, I was feeling like so good, so strong, and I was moving so quickly through the mountains. I don't know, I guess sometimes you just have really good days, sometimes you don't, but yeah, I don't know, just feeling tired. So I'm not in too much of a hurry, just kind of taking it easy. As long as I can do some bigger days tomorrow and the next day, then I should be fine to get to the next town. So I don't really need to go that far today. So yeah, just kind of chilling out and relaxing a bit. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I was kind of thinking about doing the Colorado Trail. So basically, the CDT overlaps with the Colorado Trail for most of the Colorado Trail. The Colorado Trail is like almost 500 miles long, and you probably do like, I don't know, like 300 or something on the CDT. So they overlap for a while. But where you join is where I'm going into the next town. It's Silverton. That's where you join onto the Colorado Trail. And I was kind of considering actually going the wrong way basically and going down to Durango just to cover that section of the Colorado Trail and then hitchhike back up and then continue on the trail. And that way I could do that and then do the same thing on the other end, which is near Denver. And then I would have the whole Colorado Trail complete, because it doesn't add, it adds like 88 miles on this end and then like 84 miles on the Denver side. So it's pretty doable. Like, it doesn't add a crazy number of miles. But I don't know, I'm kind of starting to drop the idea, just because originally when I was thinking of it, I was like, oh yeah, I do lots of miles per day, whatever. But now that I'm out here in Colorado, like, I'm kind of thinking I don't want to rush, and I would rather like, like last night, this morning, just hanging out by that lake, that kind of thing, and just like finding really nice places to camp and just kind of taking it easy. I don't really feel like I want to feel like I have to do a certain number of miles each day and kind of like push myself and rush too much when it's like such a beautiful stretch of trail. So yeah, if I was going to do those sections of the Colorado Trail, I feel like I would have to rush it a bit, just because I would be adding quite, I mean, it's not a crazy number of miles, but it's still adding up to like 170 miles, close to 200 miles, which, is a decent number of days. So I think I might just drop that idea and maybe just come back. It gives me a reason to come back to Colorado at some point to try and basically just tick off another trail, which is kind of an arbitrary goal, but it would be nice, like, given that I'm covering most of the Colorado Trail anyway. But anyway, I still have time to decide, see how the next couple of days go. Alright, so as I said earlier, I was feeling a bit tired today. I was feeling tired yesterday as well. Um, Today, maybe not as much, but just, I don't know, just took it easy. I figured, I have lots of time to get to the next town, so not really in a rush. So I just enjoyed myself and kind of sat by the nice views for a while and didn't really rush anything. Um, and yeah, now I've set up camp. It's only like 7 o'clock, so still lots of time until I'll probably actually go to sleep. So I figured I would actually pitch my tarp because there's also some very dark, like grey clouds in the sky. So I'm going to pitch my tarp, and well, I just did. And I actually, just because I had the time, I figured I'd try out using the bug net as well. There's no bugs, there's no mosquitoes, but I set up the bug net as well. So I'll show you what that looks like. Um, and yeah, tomorrow I'm going to try and probably do a bit of a bigger day. Um, yeah, I don't know. If I continue with this low mileage, I'm never going to make it to the next town. So gotta pick up the pace at some point. But anyway, I'll show you how my camp is. Alright, so basically I've experimented with a bit of a different setup. Not something I normally do, but I figured I would just try something else out. So I use that tree, so one point is tied there, and then another point is tied to that tree, and a point to that tree. So then there's one bit pegged out there, and then it's also pegged here and over there. So yeah, it's nice and tight, nicely pitched. But I will say one thing is that the campsite selection is not that great because it is a bit of a slant here. So this, if it rains a bit, it would be fine. But if it was like seriously heavy downpour, like really heavy rain, you would get flooding into the campsite basically because it's on a slant, on a slope. But I don't think that's going to happen anyway. But I guess we'll find out. Anyway, let me show you underneath. So there's loads of room under here because of the way that it's pitched. It allows for a lot of extra room, and this is actually decently high, so I can like very well sit up inside here. So yeah, I've set up the bug net, and it was really easy to set up. I actually used a piece of tape. It's actually repair tape for the tarp to basically tie it up to the tarp like that, and that way, like there's loads of headroom basically right where I would sit. So it's easy to sit up and like eat food or whatever. And yeah, it's all nicely pitched, pretty low to the ground on all those sides. So it's pretty well sheltered. It's a nice little setup, honestly. I like it. There is a little patch of snow right here, but it's not an issue. It's not wet on the ground here. So yeah, pretty happy with the setup. It's something different from usual, but it allows for a lot of room under the tarp. And so given I got to camp kind of early, I figured I'd have nice like cozy setup. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know, I like it.